there guys, Portal Master 9351 here, and in this video I wanted to talk a little bit about what I think the Crash Pack is about, since we're probably going to see stuff about the Crash Pack tomorrow. So those of you that don't know, E3 actually does start tomorrow officially. There were some practice press conferences and some opening ceremonies that were hosted today, but the real events will take place tomorrow. Now, Sony's event is one of the last events of the day. However, the whole event of E3, if I'm correct, is sort of kind of like a free to explore expo, and people will have booths. Sony's presentation will be at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So, we will probably get confirmation on what the Crash Pack is, assuming it's related to Crash Bandicoot, and also, since it does appear to be exclusive to the PlayStation 4 and possibly the PlayStation 3, because some sites are listing it as PlayStation 3, we'll probably find out what it is during the Sony press conference. Anyways, though, I wanted to speculate a little bit on it. So, the most common consensus is that the Crash Pack somehow relates to Crash Bandicoot. Now, there are some people around here that are claiming that it is untrue. Now, I think that the one thing to be concerned with is that a lot of these people are Crash-related sources. There's a difference between, please don't let it be related to Crash, and it's not related to Crash. There's a difference between really hoping it's not, and saying it's not in the hopes that it's not, and, you know, saying that you don't want it to be. There's a difference. And I think it is just people that are so opposed to Crash Bandicoot becoming a Skylander that they are saying that it's not related to Crash Bandicoot. I very much so think it's related to Crash Bandicoot. I don't see any other options. Now, I am aware that the double packs for Bowser and Donkey Kong in their respective vehicles were actually listed as Crash Packs. Now, to this day, we still don't know why they were listed as that. Some people think it was to tease the release of a Crash Bandicoot figure and to sort of hype up the release of a potential Crash Bandicoot figure. Throw a little bit of a distraction, a red herring in there to see if we would catch on to it and see if we would get hyped up for it. That's my personal theory, and that's some other people's theories as well. So, I kind of think that Crash Bandicoot, yes, will be a character. Now, as for the contents of the Crash Pack, that's where things are interesting. It's going to depend on the price point. We could potentially see a pack listed for about the same as, for $75, and it would be like a normal edition, or it could be listed for $100. My theory is that it will be a $100 starter pack, much like the Dark Edition, and it will have Kingpin, Golden Queen, some creation crystals, and Crash Bandicoot. That's my theory. Some people think that it will be a $75 starter pack, and it will come with Crash Bandicoot and Neo Cortex. Now, I think he's Neo Cortex. I'm pretty sure that's his name. He's like the main villain of Crash Bandicoot. The main problem with the theory that Neo Cortex would be the villain, and would come packaged with Crash Bandicoot, the main problem with that is that he's a human. He's not just humanoid. He is a human. Now, I'm not really sure. I don't think we've ever actually gotten an official confirmation on the species of Chaos or Eon. They're very human-like, but I don't think there's ever been any confirmation that they really are human or not human. So I wouldn't rule out the possibility of there being a Neo Cortex completely, but I would say that it's highly unlikely that he will be a character, simply because he has an established history as a human. Now, of course, they could just say he's not a human anymore, create some sort of a new storyline where he's whatever Chaos and, you know, Eon are, but that would assume that they never ever want to use him for any standalone game anymore. And there are some big rumors that Crash Bandicoot will actually be getting his own game soon. So I don't think that they would change the entire species of the main villain just so that he could become a villain Skylander character. I think that there won't be any more than just Crash Bandicoot by himself. Now, a lot of people have been speculating, what's Crash going to be like? Well, actually, surprisingly, the class is easier to speculate on than the element. So, he's probably going to be a bazooka. Why? Well, in his games, he's actually been known to wield a bazooka, and in some cover arts of games, you'll actually see him carrying around a bazooka. So, I think that this pretty much confirms that he would be a bazooka, because he's actually traditionally known to carry around a bazooka, or at least to use a bazooka occasionally. The element is a bit different. I think we can rule out a good many of them. It's not fire, it's not water, it's not undead, it's not tech. Or actually, no, tech is not completely ruled out. It's not magic, it's probably not going to be air, and it's probably not going to be light or dark. So that's basically we're left with earth, tech, and life. Those are the main ones. Tech, I think we can rule out because tech is not really related to Crash Bandicoot at all. I'm not really sure. I mean, he's a bandicoot, which is actually a creature, and even though he is associated with, like, he does have, like, technology, I don't really think some people are saying he could be. I don't think he'll be tech, honestly. I don't know why some people think he'll potentially be tech, but I don't really think so. That leaves life and earth. And I honestly think that, see, the thing is, when you look at him, you would think he'd be a life Skylander because he's an animal of some sort. But his move sets in the games, Crash Bandicoot games, are actually much more related to something that you would expect out of an Earth character. He's known for one of his spin attacks. He can do like sort of a spin attack, which seems like a very earthy type thing to do. And he's not really known to heal or control any aspect of nature. So, I mean, most of the characteristics that apply to life are kind of out. You know, life's creatures are usually like some sort of a plant, like Camo, Zook, Stump Smash, or they're somehow related to, like, forests. And yes, bandicoots are, like, forest-dwelling creatures, but Crash Bandicoot is so unlike an actual bandicoot that he would probably not even be considered anywhere near that. So, the only thing that he really has going for him in the life category is that he's an actual creature that exists in the real world. I think that much more goes for him being Earth, because the actual creature is actually, you know, low to the ground, and I don't really know that much about bandicoots. I don't even think they live in North America, for that matter. I guess they live in, like, Australia. That's where I assume they live. It strikes me as a much more Earth-like character. So I honestly think that he could be an Earth element in particular. So we're pretty much talking about an Earth bazooka. So, yeah. Beyond that, I really have no ideas about Crash. I mean, his moveset, would probably be kind of related to sort of his heritage. So, like, his second move would probably be some sort of a spin move, and I don't really know what his primary moves would be. I don't know if he could punch or anything like that. I mean, that would be a little interesting. I wouldn't rule that out, but I think he'll definitely be, I guess it would have something to do with, like, shooting his bazooka, probably, for his primary attack. Secondary attack, maybe spinning. Third move, something to do with jumping. I mean, Crash Bandicoot's not really that much of it's not a platformer specifically, but it definitely does play into a lot of, you know, timing your jumps correctly and stuff like that. So, really, I have no ideas what his attacks could be, but I think that we're pretty good speculating that he is going to be an Earth bazooka. But I don't really know, and we should hopefully find out tomorrow. That's all I have for you guys today. Check out my social media down in the description, and if you haven't already, enter into my giveaway, and you could win a Power Blue Splat and Splatter Splasher. That's all for now. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye!